3, 2, 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have two guests. Calamity Comics, which is a Chicago-based comic book publisher, was founded by Elliott Mondry and Alicia Madden, and we have both of them on tonight. Plus, we are going to be talking about the ticket cost at cons.
Yo, yes. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching is right.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is July, officially July 1st. It started. What's up, Michael? Lou is in the house. What's going on, everyone? If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment, do all that fun stuff. We are coming to you live here on Tuesday like we do most Tuesday nights. Oh, look who's in the house. End of Zed. What up, Ed? How you doing, my man?
Oh, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, man. Awesome. Glad he's here. Yeah, so we have a couple of guests tonight like we do every week. We're going to talk to two indie creators. They have an awesome sounding book, which we're going to talk to them about. It is currently as a pre-launch page on Kickstarter. You Never Know. You Never Know #1, which you never really know what other people are going through behind closed doors. Very interesting topic. This is what I love about indie comics is that we can write just about anything we want. We are not tied down by, corporate messaging and all that other, crap. But yeah, so big shout out to them. Again, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Sam, I know you are in shambles over there because you are doing some stuff the next couple of weeks. You won't be in that studio for long. What's going on? Oh, Aniba's in the house. What up?
Aniba's in the house. Yeah, man. I'm moving again. So I'm moving, relocating.
Yo, who you owe money to, Sam?
The IRS, man. Like a Wesley Snipes. Like, yo, I gotta go. What's up, Dan in the house? Yeah. So I'm moving. So I'm packing. I got a couple of weeks left. And on top of that, I'm also traveling for work. On top of that, I got a convention coming up next week. And so it's just a lot going on. And I'm juggling a lot of stuff. What's up? No, I'm staying in Texas. And I'm downsizing. I'm going from 2 floors to 1 floor.
But you're expanding, though. You know what I mean? Like it's weird.
Because I got like a studio gym combo.
Right.
So I'll be doing a brand new studio build vlog. So watch out for that. This is studio number 12. That's crazy,
bro.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So
you got to do, dog.
Packing, realizing that I had like 20 boxes I never unpacked when I moved here in the first place. So, donating stuff and, doing all that stuff. Yeah. Getting ready for Retro Expo. What's up, Laurie in the house?
Laurie's in the house. What up, Laurie?
Studio gym combo. Yes, it's my gym and my studio is going to be all one. It's concrete floors. Yeah. It's got AC, ceiling fans. It's pretty legit. So I'm excited about that.
Workouts. Yeah.
Catch the workouts. Yeah. So I'm excited. Plus, I'm just waiting for the books to arrive so I can start sending all of the Kickstarters out. I use Comics Wellspring, and when they sent me the proofs, they, that 3 different covers with 3 different story endings. They used one file and had the same pages, the same story endings in every one of them. I was like, guys, I send you a different file for every cover. Why are you taking shortcuts? Then they forgot another thing on it, so they were like, "Oh, we're ready to print," and I was like, "Wait, where's this?" And so it was just a bunch of stupid stuff with them. I don't know what's going on. They're overworked. I don't know what's happening, but so it should be arriving anytime now. All the other rewards arrived, so they're ready to go. Just waiting for the books so I can ship them all out. So hopefully I can get them out next week before the convention, because after that it's moving week and all that other stuff. So.
And before the launch, because we have a launch.
And the launch, yes, the launch. Yes. If you haven't checked that out, dude, he's coming back to town, and this time he has his sights on Santa. If you haven't seen it, so Duty doesn't believe that Santa can actually deliver gifts to the entire planet in one night. So he's traveling back from Uranus to Earth, and he wants to debunk Santa. He doesn't realize that Santa, rolls deep, right? And Santa has an entire infrastructure, defense system. And so Duty's in over his head again. This is a one shot. There's not a series. It's a one shot holiday special. You want to get it while you can. It's going to be dope. And it's just a comic. There's not like tons of bells and whistles. It's just going to be the comic and a couple of add-ons, and that's it.
That's it.
And it's a 3-week campaign, so it's even less time than normal. But I'm excited about this one. I've always been wanting to tell this story since I was a kid, and I love aliens. I love Santa. So merge the two, and you're never going to expect the ending. So it's going to hopefully surprise a lot of people.
Yeah. Lori says, yay, I need more duty, which is something I bet you'd never say.
Yeah.
She also says, yeah, they make mistakes. Got to keep an eye on them for sure. Santa's stuff is really good. And what did they said? Yeah, don't skip time till I get my duty.
It should have been here. It should have been here last week, but if you don't, that's why proofs are important. If you don't check it,
imagine if you didn't have a freaking proof kit.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I had every cover with the same ending. I would have been pissed.
Oh, that would have
I would have been mad. But that's why
terrible.
That's why proofs are important, guys. Always get proofs.
You have to get the proofs. You have to have the proofs.
My duty juice, yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, on top of that, you got some things you want to share.
Oh, yeah, dude, before we get our guests in. So at the end of this month, I will be in San Diego because I will be in a panel with Philip Russell, who has Filbo Distribution.
Damn, San Diego.
So, yeah, dude, I can't wait, man. I'm excited. I haven't been to San Diego in years, dude, since we last
I know. We need to do a reunion out there.
We used to do that all the time. We used to do that show all the time. So finally, I'm going back. So I have I'll be at a panel there on Thursday night, but they're giving me a badge for the whole weekend. So I'll be there hanging out. And so this is the book that I will be talking about, which is the first issue of Wonder Duck. It's hitting stores. It's on the website now. So if you go to Filbo Distribution, if you have a store, if you know of a store, if you have a local comic book shop, let them know that Wonder Duck is being distributed right now through Filbo Distribution. So go to filbodistribution.com and they can sign up their store, and then they can place the orders. The books are on right now from July 1st to September 1st. September 1st is the cutoff date. So that's when all the orders have to be in so that I can send this book out to get printed, and they get it into the stores by October 15th.
Good
so
stuff.
Very excited about that. Yeah,
good stuff.
Man.
So if you're an indie comic supporter, make sure you talk to your local comic shop. Let them know that there's a new distributor in the game, and it's going to take the entire village to get this thing cracking.
Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. So I'm excited. Big shout out to Filbo Distribution. Thank you so much for taking a chance on the book, and thanks everyone in the chat. I didn't even see it. There's a bunch of comments in there I missed, but dude, it's exciting stuff. But yeah. That's what I got.
Yeah, but we got some talented creators chomping at the bits in the green room, and like you did before, you didn't put any cookies or nothing in the green room, and they're starving. So why not we just bring them on stage and let's get this party cracking? Welcome to Catch the Craze. Welcome back.
George, Sam, good to see you guys.
Hey, what's up, Elliott? How you doing, man? Elliott, how you doing, man?
Great, man. Been a while,
dude. It's been a while. I'm like, when you said the name, I'm like, wait a minute, the face, and there he is.
Alicia, there it is.
Doing? Everything good?
He's got the celebrity face.
No, we've been meaning to have Elliott for a while on the show, right? Didn't you?
You know, I was back in, I think, like the first month of this year, and
Yes.
then, but you weren't on it, George. And so Sam and I had a great talk, and now you're here.
There it is. There it is. Yes, I actually met Elliott last year at the New York Comic Con.
And I'll be back this year too.
Oh, sweet, dude. Yeah, I'll be there. So yeah, no, we'll link up again, man. So anyway, for those who don't know who you guys are, Elliott, you've been here before. We're gonna start with Alicia. Alicia, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Alicia. Nice to meet you guys. And this is my very first time working on comics in a professional capacity. I'm one of the co-owners of Calamity Comics with Elliott, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Awesome. Now, you are the artist on the book, right, Alicia?
That's right.
Oh, sweet. And Elliott, you know, just for those who maybe missed the show in January like I did, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, hi everyone. I'm Elliott. I'm one of the co-owners of Calamity Comics with Alicia Madden. I write children's books, I write comic books, and we're just here to have a great time and talk about what we do.
Awesome.
There you go. Listen, I was looking at the obviously you guys have a Kickstarter for the book You Never Know. Dude, it what a great premise, because how many times do we kind of go about our lives thinking everybody's got it made, everybody's doing well. Oh my God, look at this person, what they're posting online. They're so happy, but you really never know what's going on behind closed doors. Tell us a little bit about the book, how it came about, whose idea was it? How did you guys link up and start working on it? I know there's a lot there, but we'll whoever wants to take it first, go for it.
So the You Never Know started with I wrote the story. It was 9 issues. And it started when I was in therapy as a exercise to try to understand what I was going through, because I really didn't understand all the feelings I was having, all the emotions I was having, and was just trying to put words to what I was going through. So I wrote this character and would put him through the scenarios I was going through and experiencing. And I felt that if I could make stories about this, I could understand better what was going on and walk them through and think, you know, what would I tell someone if they were suffering, and how would I help them? What would I tell them? So the premise came from that concept and just kind of grew and grew from there. And then as I had the first draft of the script, it was around last year at C2E2, Alicia and I met at one of those artist writer speed dating panels. Nice. And I'll let Alicia take it from there.
Yeah. So, like he was saying, last year we were both really new to comics, never worked on anything professionally. And he's looking for an artist. I'm looking for a writer, something. We were both kind of like unprepared that day. I hadn't drawn anything new in years. Like I had basically given up on art because I was trying to do the career mainstream, just paying the bills kind of life. And it's not the life for me, because I am an artist and I can't stop being an artist. And I love comics so much. So I met lots of writers that day. And while it's perfectly great what they were all bringing to the table, lots of action and fantasy and things like that, I was looking for something indie. I was looking for a true story. And Elliott was the only person who wrote about himself using fiction. And I thought that was so creative. And not to mention, like one of the first things we talked about was after he told me the premise of YNK, that it had to do with therapy kind of thing. I said, therapy? I love therapy, because I told him, like, I had PTSD for years, and I mean had, because I went to therapy, and I swear I'm a different person now. And we commiserated over that, and we went from there. Yeah.
No, that's
awesome.
That's incredible. It's weird. So I have some of the guys in the chat. I'm co-writing a story with a friend of mine, and we were having this conversation. And it's funny that you said that, Alicia, about, you know, most people who draw comics love the action, love the sci-fi, but when you have a slice of life kind of tale, some artists, not all, but some artists can find that boring, right? Because where's the fight? Where's the where's the action? Where's the adventure? The fact that you were looking for something more grounded, you know, it actually gives me hope that my friend and I will find somebody who will draw a book that's more grounded in real life. But Elliott, so, and I wanted to ask you about your artwork, Alicia, but I'll ask Elliott first about just your writing. I saw your website. You have a wonderful website, kids books. Tell us a little bit about why kids books, and do you write other things? Obviously, you're writing this, but it started with the kids book. So tell us a little bit about, you know, your writing and how it started and what you've been doing.
So a lot of my writing, it's more of what stories I would like to see that I feel there aren't enough of, or that I want to teach other people about. Because I think that writing is just a powerful tool to teach people lessons, whether you're young, you're old, no matter what you're going through, you can learn something from writing, and especially comic books and children's books, because they're such visual mediums that, me personally, if you give me a novel to read, I'm not going to read it. Like, I can't sit there and read it. I can't read a book. Like, as much as I have to read for work, I just don't want to sit there and look at words on a page for the day. I'd rather just look at pictures with some words in there and let the story just be there for me. So if I think that way, other people have to think that way too. Right. So I wrote the first children's book I actually wrote wasn't the first one that got published, and it was just a story that I wrote to get over my own fears in life. Like, okay, if I'm afraid of this, kids are definitely afraid of this, and we can make this a visual element, and there can be this visual story to this. And a children's book is a great medium. I was midway through writing the comic book when I had the idea of a monkey and an otter being friends, and I thought, oh, there's a story to this. And I wrote like a full-on actual story. And then I thought, I can make this rhyme like Dr. Seuss. I did that. And then that just made the story. And I pitched it to a few people, and I ended up getting an illustrator on it who had this very like anime, cartoony, but like fun, lively children's feel to it. Yeah. And then we got the book going. But the writing always came from a place of, how can I teach somebody something? How can I get somebody to understand something better about themselves or about the world in some way? And I like to write stories. It's fun to write fun stories. Obviously, obviously we love duty. Come on, Sam. You know we love duty. I can't write duty though. That's not what I can't. For me, it just doesn't work that way. My brain doesn't work like that. So I have to have some something that the character or the story is working towards in order to teach some type of lesson or for somebody to learn something. Yeah. And that's where I tend to be able to write better. So my process just goes from what I can do to help someone else.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. No, good point. Alicia, real quick. So I wanted to touch on your art journey, I suppose. You say you're an artist. You that's what you do. You want to be. Was it always comics? Did you go to, like, you know, I want to call it comic book school, but it's not comic book school. Did you go to learn about, you know, sequential art and things of that nature? Like, tell us a little bit about your art background.
I am self-taught, and I never really started. I was just drawing from the beginning, and it was comics from the beginning. Okay. Let's see, and like, the most important comic to me to date has always been Mouse by Art Spiegelman. And that's kind of where the conjunction of like my art style and comics and everything, and then finding this project specifically interesting, because it's like, you know, history is very important, just like helping people with their everyday lives kind of thing, but also the big context of why people feel certain ways. I mean, not enough people go to therapy, but if we all just like kind of agree, like, therapy's pretty great, a lot of our future could be like so much better with some therapy. But history is important, but not everybody wants to read a huge history tome, you know. So the fact that you can boil it down into comics and sometimes say certain things, not with words, but with pictures and certain sequences. And it was just like, it was an epiphany reading it. So I was like, oh, I want to write something like that, a true story in comics. And then I got really into like DC. I'm a DC girl. And I found that the realistic art style was just so appealing and represented real life to me better than something really stylistic, like something anime manga looking kind of thing. So I just lean towards that.
Yeah. No, it's challenging. I mean, obviously, you know, we have this conversation a lot about, you know, how hard it is to draw comics, you know, how long it takes to draw a book and how committed you have to be to do so. When you guys work together, Elliott, your scripts, are they more, you know, are they more DC where it's like panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, or is it more Marvel where it's like, this is what I'm thinking on this page, Alicia, do your thing and make it work? Like, how do you guys work together?
It's definitely more of a DC style script. I have a background in journalism, telecommunications, so I learned script writing in college. So I would just write it like a movie script, honestly, where it's, you know, page 1, panel 1, here's the aerial shot or the camera angle of this, narration on this web to describe what the scene is. If it's character dialogue, then, you know, obviously the name's in the center. Because for me, I'd rather have more, I want to read almost like a book. And like I said, it's written as a screenplay, basically. Yeah. So that way, Alicia has enough detail and knows what the emotion's going to be, knows what the scene's supposed to look like and how you're supposed to feel. Because if you know how to feel, you know how to draw it. Yeah. So to me, it's the most important thing that she can enjoy the script when she's reading it. And if she enjoys it, then I know she'll be able to draw it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Let's talk a little bit about Calamity Comics. Like, so did this happen upon your meeting in Chicago, or like when did this start, the whole Calamity Comics venture?
So we created Calamity Comics probably, I'd say, a couple of months back officially. We always had this discussion of, you know, we'll work together and, you know, we'll keep making comics. But I said, let's just make it official. Let's just, you know, get a business going with it and let's stand for something. Let's really give the people something to rally behind. You know, I don't necessarily believe in, oh, it's my book, it's your book. No, it's our book. It's our story that we're giving to the world. And not just this story, but other stories that we're writing and working on. And we were sitting in our local comic shop and on a rainy day looking out the window as we were just writing and working on stuff. And the name Calamity just kind of came to us. And we broke it up a little bit because if you look at our logo, it's a CAL with a teardrop and then Amity with a half heart, because through Calamity, there's always a call to amity. So you can always call on your friends when you're in pain. So we wanted to give that message to people that, you know, you can call out, you can reach out to others, that we're there. These stories are there. Your friends and family are there for you, even if you don't realize it. And we just wanted to spread the awareness of mental health and let the people know and everybody else know that you're not alone in this.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a beautiful message, man. When do you guys expect to launch the campaign?
Alicia.
It's really super down to me because it's a work in progress, but it's looking real good. And Elliott,
so we're looking probably within the next, ideally, we can launch the Kickstarter now. We have the tiers, we have all our variant covers, we have prints in, we just don't have the comic. And for me personally, I don't want to have a campaign going where then, okay, great, you're going to end up waiting 2 more months for the book to get there. Right. Our children's book, you know, we were fully funded. And then once we ended, I got the rewards out the next week. And for me personally, that's what I want in a Kickstarter. So we don't want to launch the Kickstarter until we have the books ordered already. Yeah. So I know it's like, oh, how many books are we going to order? I don't care. We're going to order as many as we need to. So that way we have it. And then the people will get their books right away. Yeah. So like I said, we can launch it now, but we would rather have it ready to go. So that way everyone can get their rewards right away. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So she's got, I'd say the first issue is around 20 pages. You can obviously see the Ashkin on our Instagram and online if you want to see the first 5 pages. But we're coming down to the wire of the last couple of pages, and then we just have to get it to our letterer and have our editor read one time through, and we're good to go.
Is it an ongoing series, or what are you guys doing? Like, is it a mini series? Like, how are you handling it?
It's actually 9 issues, so it's a full series. So it's going to be, once we're done with this one, she's jumping right into issue 2. It's all already written. It's just getting it done is all.
I feel like issue number 1 is our shortest one, I think. And it's taking kind of the longest because, like I said, like I'm reintroducing myself to the technique of using pen and paper and Photoshop.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you're doing it. I mean, your style is realistic, right? So that's going to take a little longer than, say, you know, if you're doing something more cartoony, I would think.
And then a big thing with us was we spent the first maybe 4 months of working together just on character design. So that took a lot of time just to make sure the characters looked the way we wanted them to. And after that, she's been kind of just going through the pages. The first few took the longest, and now it's like, oh, hey, Ellie, I finished this page this week. What do you think? Fully colored and all. Like, what do you mean you finished a full page fully colored this week? Like, you're doing great. Just keep going.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know you mentioned, Elliot, you're going to be at Comic-Con. Are you going to be there, Alicia, as well? Or no?
I will be at San Diego Comic-Con, not New York.
Yeah, well, but we're both going to San Diego, and then New York, I'll be there.
Oh, sweet. So maybe I'll see you guys at San Diego then. Because
what do you mean, maybe, George? What do you mean, maybe?
You gotta watch it. He's squirmy.
He's squirmy.
I'm coming to that panel. I gotta see your panel.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. No, this is awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad you guys are working on something so important. You know, people sometimes neglect our mental health because everything is fine. Everything is fine. You know what I mean? But nobody really likes to talk about it. So thank you so much for tackling that. And for those watching, the campaign isn't live, but you guys can sign up to the pre-launch page. Don't ask him out for drinks.
Yes.
But he's supposed to go out at like 3 a.m, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't be going out like that.
What are you talking about? You're the guy that went to Tijuana. What are you talking about?
That was like 20 years ago. Bro.
I'm just saying.
That was a long time ago. But to everybody watching, make sure you follow the page. The launch, I'm sure you guys are going to do amazing. I can't wait. I'm going to sign up. I'm actually on here now. I'm going to sign up to the page. And I mean, what else can we find you guys as far as social, network, website, all that fun stuff? We're going to have some of that stuff on the show notes, but just let everybody know.
You can find us, the team, collectively at Calamity Comics Official on Instagram. You can find me at Mondry Writes on Instagram. They're on the screen. And then we'll have a website eventually, but that's after the Kickstarter goes.
That's coming up. Same thing, Instagram. It's on the screen, Alicia Papilia.
There you go. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on and giving us some time. Sam, I'm sorry, man. I freaking monopolized the whole time. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, that's all right. No, I was just, the only thing I wanted to share is some insight for Alicia, because the reason why issue number 1 is taking longer is because it's redrawing those characters that you guys just created, right? So getting in that repetition from different angles, different perspectives. So that's why issue 1 is always going to be take it the longest, because you're perfecting that. But as you go, you'll find that your rhythm kicks in, and now it's muscle memory. But building that muscle memory takes the time. So don't feel the pressure. It's just part of the game.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes. Because I stepped away from comics for a long time, and then I had to rebuild my muscle memory, and it took me forever. But now I'm just knocking them out. But it took a while just to be repetitive.
Yeah.
But no, I wish you guys so much success. Thank you for both being on. You're always welcome back. You know how to find us. And
we'll find you. Don't worry.
Yes. And you guys got to take a group shot in San Diego. I want to make sure you found George, because he is squirming.
We'll see you there.
You'll find me. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll see you in San Diego for sure.
We'll see you in a few weeks, George. Sam, thank you as always.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Guys. That was awesome.
Yes,
the chat's having a good time with the Superman here. You can catch Elliot on HBO on Man of Steel and Justice League.
Yeah, no.
Spooky 2T was in the house. T2. Geez. Rob. I'm just gonna call you Rob, bro.
George,
1,000 times and it becomes muscle memory. Word. Yeah, man. Nah, good stuff, guys. Yeah, make sure you check that out. Their campaign will launch this year. And listen, it's fair, right? They want to make sure that the book is done before they promote it and before they do anything with it.
It's admirable, because aspiring creators, they get stuck because they just want to get it out there, and then something goes wrong, and they're like, oh man. And then what happens is it leaves a bad taste in the people who backed your campaign in their mouth, and they don't want to come back. Right. So I think, first time right, get it right the first time, and make sure you get it in everybody's hands, and then they're going to see the consistency and reliability and the trust, and they'll keep coming back.
Yeah. So remember, You Never Know is the name of the book. And it's going to be live on Kickstarter this year, before the end of the year, I'm sure.
Word.
And the tagline is, you never really know what other people are going through behind closed doors.
You never know, dude. You never know. The demons that haunt us.
Oh, man. Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
We all go through it, man. We all go through it.
But we got a topic, and we got some meds to give out. So I think we need to get into it.
Time for your medicine.
Is the cost of convention tickets hurting vendors? Why this topic, George?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. I mean,
I don't know. You tell me.
We kind of both were just talking about this, right? And you had seen something.
I was watching a podcast, and it was vendors, not actually artists, but vendors, and they were basically voicing their frustration with conventions because they're overpricing the entry fees, and between the entry fee and food and all that stuff, and so people are not buying like they normally would buy from them, and it's getting harder and harder for them to make a buck. Yeah. And so I found that interesting, because normally you hear it from artist perspective, right? You hear it from the creator's perspective, but hearing the vendors now talking about it, that so there's a growing frustration out there. So it's almost like a unified front. The question that came up in my head was, what would happen if the entire community, both vendor and creatives, all said enough is enough? Dude, you got to make it fair for the consumer, so that way we all have an opportunity to make money, not just the celebrities that you're paying to have at these shows.
Yeah. Well, I think what will happen is they'll just increase the prices on the tables and say, all right, fine, you guys pay for it then. You know what I mean?
But that's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
So you're paying for an artist an average of $350 to $700 to $800 based on where you're going. Sometimes more if you're doing like New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con, right? You're paying $1,500 if you want a booth, right? That with travel expenses, and that's just from the creative standpoint, right? So you got to make that back. And if the comic book fan is paying $75, $100, $150 at the door, right? There's only so much that can go around, especially with the way the economy is right now.
Yeah.
Where is that viable option to be able to make a living, or at least recoup what you spent?
Yeah. Sebastian, people are making less.
Yeah.
And I just don't like paying to shop. Yeah, no, man. Just this weekend, I was at a con where for just a one day, just Saturday, was $40. So like, imagine if you're coming out there with the family, right? If you're a family with 2 kids and stuff like that, you're paying $160 just to get in the door before you buy anything for the kids or for yourself. And most of the time, if you go in there, you know specifically what you want to buy. So you're gonna buy, whether it's a Funko Pop or a back issue that you've been wanting or whatever. That leaves less money for you to spend on something like one of our books, right? Because who the heck are we? Like how much is that book? You know what I mean? Can you imagine if you had to pay to get into a mall? Yeah. So that's the thing, man. It's a tough conversation, because as a promoter, what do you do? Like some of these places, especially in New York or something like that, what they charge you to just put that show together. It's crazy. So you figure, how am I going to charge? But I just think, remember when we were in San Antonio last year, and how much they were charging?
$150,
right? To get in, just to get in the door, dude. Like that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So yeah, it is hurting. I think it hurts vendors. It hurts, the artists sitting behind the table. Coincidental, but some of the best shows I went to were free. Word. I don't know, George. I thought Derby was cheap. Yo, so Michael San Martino was at a duck derby this weekend.
What's with the ducks,
a
bro?
rubber duck derby. You get a rubber ducky and then you race it down the stream. And I'm thinking, why didn't I get my book in there, bro? So next year I'm going to be doing that.
Yes.
So Elliott says, what do you say? I missed that.
Not only the price of admission, but vendor prices are going up as well. It makes it tough for most people. Yeah, because the vendors are trying to compensate for the money they spent for their tables.
Yeah.
And for their spots, because the vendors they get like 20 by 20. They get big size booths, right? For all their stuff and the transportation of all that product and everything else. They got to recoup the payroll that they're paying for the people to man their booths that come from their shops or whatever it is. So everyone's jacking up the price.
So Sebastian, what is Sebastian? It's tough because the showrunners have to rent the venue, but there is also an oversaturation of shows that some of these showrunners think they could get NYCC, SDCC prices. Word. They should put the entry fee on the door of the celebrities behind. Yeah,
but that's why, shout out to Texas Latino Comic Con, right? Because I'm a guest at the show, and they work with the city to do these events, and they give opportunities for local creatives, and but it brings a great turnout, and we all do great. Shout out to the Denton Comic Art Expo, right? Because it's free to the public, and because they work with the city, right? So the city does they work with these programs where they donate time and space for the community, for art programs, all that stuff, whatever. And this is considered one of them. And they charge a nominal fee for their booths and tables, anywhere between $50 to $100, right? Whatever it is. It's and everyone gets an opportunity to, and it's families and large groups that come to these events. But then when you go to these big shows, everybody thinks, I'm going to go to this big show. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to kill it. The problem is the people paying the entrance fee. And then if you want a hot dog and a drink, you're paying $20, right? Just for a hot dog and a drink, right? It's $20 at a convention. So if you paid $50 at the door plus $20, that's $70 already out of your pocket. You're probably going to get snacks and stuff like that. And you probably have a couple $100 or maybe less to get what you went there for. You either went there for an autograph, or you went there for a Funko Pop, or you went there for an exclusive or a limited edition, right? And if you just happen to walk through Artist Alley, or you happen to walk through, somebody might get lucky with that person, but they're not. But most of the time, you're not the primary target, right?
Yeah.
So if the vendors are struggling to recoup their money, you already know the comic shops are struggling, and so the comic shops need these venues to offset some of the loss that they're getting at the stores, right? So they're trying to recoup and have some extra income. And if it's making it harder for them to do that, where is the happy medium? And how do we protect the game so that everyone thrives?
The sad thing is, I guess, to a certain extent, sad. I say sad because people want to go to these conventions, bro. Like, you see the lines out the door, dude. Like I told you, the one I went to this weekend, people lined up, man. They like dressing up. It's fun. It's fun to go. So they'll pay the money to get in. The thing is, once they're inside, like you said, they're very selective about what they're going to spend on. And so they may pass on the opportunity to read a great comic that they may enjoy because they just don't have the money for it, So yeah, that really sucks. A question was asked at work: what would be the ultimate weekend? Me, San Diego Comic-Con, hot display, and hired cosplay plants. You need to have a following to do the bigger shows. You need to be recognized and have a fandom you built to give you a chance. Yeah, man. But I still think, and to Ed's point, the best shows are the ones that are free. Why? Because you feel like, hey man, I got into this place for free. I'm about to walk around and have a good time, and you're not worried about, damn, I just spent how much to get in here? Jesus Christ, like that's crazy. You're not thinking about that anymore. Yes.
So I really think so. There's a lot of initiatives, and there's a lot of funding for local programs in the communities, right? So there's a certain budget that goes to that, right? So if you want to do a convention, the smart approach would be is like go to your city hall, to your local community center, whatever, and figure out how that you can use the community center, right, to host a convention, right, to the public for free. And maybe you just charge $30, $40, $50 to tables to offset some costs or whatever for payroll or whatever, unless you're doing volunteers and that kind of stuff. But there's ways you can do things. The problem is reach. exposure. If you're new to the game and no one knows that you're a convention, it's just gonna, how are you gonna get the word out? But there's a lot. One thing that's great about here in Texas, every day there's a show popping up. And I mean, I hear more and more about new shows all the time. I can't keep up, right? So it's not like there's not options out there. I just think I think everyone's focused on the bigger shows, and the bigger shows is gonna be difficult, like fan expos. I mean, you're paying your Fan Expo. I don't do Fan Expo in Texas anymore because they give you a 6-foot table. They don't treat you with respect in Artist Alley. They'll move you without letting you know. It's just crazy, and it's tight. It's congested. So I don't do those types of shows. But like Bell County Comic Con, they treat me well, right? And they bring in about 50,000 people. So I'm like, all right, I'll do that show. I'll be back there this year again. So yeah, it's tough. I honestly do think that these conventions are outpricing everybody.
Yeah.
Because they can.
Yeah, I think $40 for one day is a lot of money. It's just a lot of money, dude. Like, it just is. I think that what happened to the $20, you know what I mean, for the day, $25, like, yeah, okay, we can swing that. Once you start going into the 30s and 40s, $50, now things start getting a little, oof, all right, do I really want to go to that one? Am I going to go in? I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I think that's something to think about for showrunners. And listen, I know everybody has to make money, right? Everybody has to you're not doing it for free. And I get that. But I think that you have to work something out, find a way so that, people can enjoy the con for what it is. And not be worried about, geez, I just spent all that money to get in the door. And now I still, like you said, I still got to go get something to eat with the family.
Yeah.
How much is that going to cost me now?
Yeah.
So I leave the house for a free convention. There you go.
Yeah. Like I'm doing Retro Expo. Retro Expo is not a cheap convention, right? Their standard prices are like in the 500-600, right? I got it at half that price. And it was by happy accident, right? And so they caught it after they already accepted my fee. But I got lucky, right? So I'll be doing it for the first time. I don't know what to expect. I know that show is popping and it brings in a big crowd.
Do you know what the entrance fee to that show is?
I don't know what the entrance fee is, but I do know that they've been promoting everywhere. I see it everywhere.
Retro, what is it? Retro
Expo in Plano, Texas.
Expo. Yeah, Plano, Texas. Now go ahead. Keep saying what you're saying.
Yeah. So I know it brings a big crowd, a lot of collectors of toys and Pokemon and all that stuff. And so I have a corner booth. First time there. Don't know what to expect. I'm going there optimistic, ready to have some fun. But I got to make that money back, right? So I got to make that table cost. The good thing is that I don't have to stay overnight at a hotel because I drive an hour back. I'm good. But if I spent that money plus a hotel and food and all that other stuff, I'd have to hustle. I'd have to think twice about whether or not I would do that show, right? Because I'm like, I average anywhere between, 400 to 900 a show. And it's a gamble based on what you do, right? If it's a bigger show that brings in anything over 10,000 people. If it's less than that, I average anywhere between 200 to 350, right? So it all depends on the event.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, see, this one's $20.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and then your VIP tickets, though. You want a VIP ticket, baby? $45. VIP
$45. Look at that.
That's all right. That's $30 plus a $5 fee if you buy it online or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get the full weekend event admission, early wristband pickup. You get 1 hour early entry, which people love. Exclusive Retro Expo t-shirt. So you get a free t-shirt. You get a feature pin, art print, 10% off store merchandise.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you get some cool stuff. General admission is, $19.95, and then you get it's $22 online or whatever. And yeah, man, it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, and on Sunday it's from 11 to 5.
Beautiful.
So special offer to kids. Any children's tickets for ages 9 to 12 are just $10. With a paying adult, kids under 8 are free.
That's awesome.
So if you want to bring your kid on Sunday, you can always bring them and have a good time. And then they have children's tickets, age 9 through 12, or $10. So yeah, see that's doable, bro. That's still something that you're like, all right, I'm gonna spend that.
Yeah.
But the minute you start doubling that, it's a problem, dude.
It's a problem, man.
It's
I
a
don't
problema,
know.
man. It's a
I
problema.
don't know,
I ain't got the
man.
money, man.
No money, no honey.
No. Yeah. Now, the only thing that can beat that is obviously if it's free, right? And there are conventions like you said that are designed that way. Whether if it's like at a community center, like you said, if it's at a library, usually those shows are free, so you can find those shows, and those are the best shows, dude. Especially for like even for like us, right? Because there's no entry fee for them. Usually, what we pay for those are very little, and then that way we're able to make some money at the show, and we're able to push our product. But otherwise, it's a wrap, bro. It's really not good.
Most vendors and customers are traveling to the cons. We all have to eat. Free entry would go a long way. Absolutely.
Big time.
You know, I did LitCon, right? And LitCon is again, they work with the city. It was at the local library. They had about maybe 50 vendors, right? 50 of us. And they probably brought in about 2,500 people. Right? One of my best events. It, open to free to the public. And they feed you. They get you Whataburger, right? So they come, they take your order. What do you want? And they give you Whataburger. You give you a burger, fries, and a drink, right? And they bring you water bottles when you need it, and they cover your table when you have to go to the bathroom, right? And it's a small show. You don't get any of that stuff, and they promote you, and they put you on the email blast, and they let people know that you're coming. These big shows, they don't even care about who's in Artist Alley unless you're with Marvel Comics, right?
Crap, bro.
So you don't even get half that, right? But they take your money real quick, and they'll dump you in the corner, and there's all that crap, and there's all these restrictions, and sometimes I see artists, they're getting put with their table with a big pillar in front of their table. And you can't even see them. I'm like, how'd you even pay for that, bro? So that's the level of disrespect that you can expect to get.
Pay to play. I can't even, I'm over here at the Comic-Con website, and I can't even find their tickets. Like, obviously they're probably already sold out, but
how much all of that costs? Security venue. I don't want to defend them, but that stuff adds up. Yeah, it does. It does. But, again, most of the money is spent on the celebrity stuff, because they're not only just paying for the celebrity, the fee, they're paying for their travel and their hotel and their food. And if that celebrity has an assistant, or a couple of assistants, they're paying for all that stuff. Right. So that's where they're spending all that money. It's all these celebrities, and those celebrities are not bringing comic collectors. They're bringing celebrity fans.
Now, let me ask you this, Sam. Would you be willing to pay more money for your table if it meant that people could get into the place for free?
It all depends on the promotion. If it's all focused on celebrities, because that's where they're paying, that money's going, then it's not a comic show that I want to be a part of. It's not an event I want to be a part of. If it's comic centric, right, and it's art centric, yeah, I know that I'm going to do well. But if it's celebrity themed, I'm not going to do well.
No, 100%. I'd be willing to pay more for a table if the show is free, if it's definitely comic book centric, and it's not like the first thing you see on their website is, a celebrity that's going to be there, who may not show up.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, and they never show. It's the top tier A-listers, they have them, and then the week of, they say canceled. They already got you. You already paid for it. They got you in there. They canceled. So you get the B and C lists, right? So they do that bait and switch all the time.
Because I think if you have people coming into a place like a comic book show, and they want to buy comics, and they have money in their pocket to buy comics because they got in for free, or it was $10 to get in or something like that, they're more willing to spend money. And listen, I'm not just talking about they're going to walk around, they're going to see it, and they're going to buy it. You still have to pitch your stuff. You still have to work. But I think you have more of a chance to make some of that money back. That's why I was trying to get into Small Press Expo. Where's Small Press Expo, Michael? Is that the one in Bethesda in Maryland? It's all just indies. You remember doing that? Small Press Expo?
I never did SPX.
You never did SPX?
Oh, I think you did it.
We did, yeah. I could have sworn you were there because the Wolf was there. Yeah, Maryland. I think that's a good show. I think we did pretty well at that show. But sometimes you got to be careful because it's almost like, remember the Mocha, when we went to the Mocha?
Yeah.
And the people at the Mocha, they had the folded, 11 by 7 or 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper stapled. and people were killing it, right?
And we had polished stuff, and
we had
at
colored comics, and
we looked too pretty.
We're like, what is that? So we were too polished for them, but not good enough for the mainstream. So sometimes those shows could be.
We were Kid and Play, and they wanted Onyx.
Wow. Yeah, that's a reference nobody got.
Nobody got. What is it? Hola, hola. Hey.
Maybe something. I don't want to shut you guys out. You said Onyx. What's Onyx, bro?
Trying to get live.
The Mad Face Invasion. They were dope, bro. They were dope.
Yeah, I know.
No, but yeah, no. That's what we're thinking. I mean, listen, if a show can get their prices down, I think people coming to the show will spend more money. Hopefully. I mean, in the perfect world, right? That works. But you still have to hustle. You still have to work behind that table.
You better work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that's the name of the game. I mean, I think of the shows this year, I think I'm doing 10 this year. And of the 10, 3 of them I was a guest for, which I didn't have to pay entry fee, which is awesome. It feels real good. And then, but then I'm doing a few new ones that I've never done before. So it's a gamble, rolling the dice. Let's see what happens, right? So, and I'm building that portfolio of events that I want to do, because I've dropped a bunch of events that I did one time here in Texas that did just not right for me, right? I did it, took an L, I'm out, right? But I got a good group of events that really good for me, and I have a loyal following that'll always show up for the next consecutive stuff. And even if I didn't have the next book, they're there for the next art print or the next sticker or whatever. They're always there because they really love the character and they're supportive of my work. So I'm trying to build that, like to Sebastian's point, build that following. So my goal is just building that following.
Yeah. He said,
some terrorists on
that bad boy. Yeah, no, Sebastian made a good point. A free show gives you more of an opportunity to build a relationship and a fan base. And that's the thing. Like when you talk about being a guest, obviously not paying for a table at a show is the best way to go, right? Because no matter what happens out there, you didn't lose any money because you're a guest, right? So everything that comes in is money in your pocket. Those shows are great, not just for that, but also, and I think a lot of shows, and I've gotten into this because with the campaign that I have coming out in October, I'm collecting emails, right? Just to get, just an email list going, which I never believed in, bro. I never believed in email lists. Yeah,
because most of it goes to spam, but yeah.
It does, dude. And listen, I the reason why I don't believe it is because I hate them personally. I don't like getting these emails.
I get tons.
Right? And I don't, and honestly, bro, it's
like I get for every, I've backed 92 Kickstarters and I get all their emails, right? So it's like brang, 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 and it's constant. It's like and everybody's launching on the same day, in the same hour, in the same minute. I'm like, support, just launch, right. just launch.
The Kickstarter joint is crazy.
It's like, yo.
But I've started collecting those things, and what I tell them is, if it's specifically for my campaign, I tell them, I'm sending you 7 emails. That's it. That's all you're getting from me. You know what I mean? And follow up with that. Yeah. How are those hotel shows? Michael wants to know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about hotel shows, man. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. Good. Yeah, it depends on how they set them up, right? Like if it's all in one like aisle, it's fine. But when you go into different rooms, that's when it gets tricky because you could be in the crappy room.
Hotel outside of the Big Apple when they were the New Yorker, because Big Apple runs a good show. I don't think I've ever.
Which one?
Pittsburgh Comic Con runs a good show. They were at a hotel. They were at the Hilton or the Holiday Inn, one of the two. I think it's the Hilton, and they ran a good show back in the days. We did them, but most of the hotel shows it's just hard to find the rooms. They don't have good signage, communication on the exterior. It's always some problem with the hotel. Yeah. So I've never seen them. I prefer in off-site locations in whether it's a convention center or community center. For some reason, I don't know. The hotels don't seem like they're working for me. Would you do a reputable big show for free, but the promoter takes 10% of your profits for the day? Yeah, nah.
He could take $10. 10% of $100. He wants you to take it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know that I would do that. I mean,
Ain't nobody putting their hands in my pockets.
Yeah, but that's like like when you
because then you have to have some sort of item. You have to track every damn sale, and they're gonna have somebody stand in.
Right, that's what I mean. It gets a little convoluted. It's like when you go to a book signing at a store, and they want a percentage
Hell
of
no.
the sales. You know what I mean?
No, never do that. I do book signings out here in Texas, and it's just for promotion. They don't take anything. They give me a free table, and that's the way it should be. Because the goal is hopefully attracting more people to your comic shop. It's a win-win for all. But nah.
I said Joe Pesci will be there waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. Get your hands in my pocket.
Yeah. I don't know that I would do that. I mean, I think I would definitely pay more for a table if it meant people were getting in for free at a comic book show.
I would only consider it like if it was a free table, but I had a panel and they promoted the shit out of me.
But
if they didn't do any of those things, forget about
it. But honestly, the only person losing there or that could possibly lose is really the promoter.
Yeah.
Because if I don't make any sales, I mean, like I said, what's your cut?
They're gonna put a camera. They're gonna put a drone over your table, just watching you, watching your transaction.
Yeah. What am I, a clown? I'm here to amuse you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah, nah. I mean, if the promoter said, "Hey, look, we're giving you a free spot. We're gonna promote you, and we're gonna let you we want you to host a panel," I'm like, "Okay, we can make that happen." But if none of those things were happening, get out of
here. Lou, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Lou. I have no idea what you're
doing. Right. Didn't you guys have like the purple room?
No, we didn't. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have no idea. Let's go back to the question that Ed asked. Lou, we're going to have a conversation after this. You sell 20 pens, Sam? No.
I know, right? We saw it. I was like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? No,
I saw you put the money in your socks.
But what if the promoter helps you to promote your little butts? You'll be at those
Vegas can't be choosy. I want a little booty.
Oh God, Lou, I can't believe you brought that back. I know. It's funny. I have a friend who's going to be at New York Comic Con, and he just hit me. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna stay at the Yotel in Times Square." I'm like, "Good luck, buddy."
That's the hotel used to that.
It was a Yotel, bro.
Oh.
It was a Yotel.
Yeah, it's a Yotel because people are like, "Yo, let me out."
Yo, that place was romantic. Anyway,
I'm gonna tell.
Yeah, yeah, but never again. Never again. Never again.
That's horrible, bro.
Anyway, are we back next week, Sam? What are we doing?
Yes, we are back next week. We have
okay.
What do we got next week?
So the way it shakes out. So July has what, 5 Tuesdays?
Yeah, 5.
So you're gonna see us for 1, 2, 3 of those 5.
Yeah, so we're back next week, and we have JP Plack on the show next week. And JP Plack is making indie comics for 5 years, publishing, has a book coming out called Eudaimonia, book 3 on Indiegogo. And there's another book, Neuralem. Dude, I gotta use like Google to translate. And it's the long and short of it at the Harvard bookstore, I guess. New guest. We've never had JP Black on the show before. So, and then we're off, and then we're not back to the 29th when we launch book Duty in the Santa Conspiracy.
Santa.
Yeah, and it's gonna be dope. And if you don't know what that is, where's my dang thing? I can't even find anything. The link is in the chat. It is a book that I've been wanting to write for so many years. And I revised it, and I'm launching it on the 29th. It's Duty in the Santa Conspiracy. Here's the cover and a sneak peek of one of the pages. Where Duty's back on Earth again. He crash lands. He just doesn't know how to land his ships, and it's gonna be fun. So we launch a Kickstarter. It's a 3-week campaign. I'm having a blast drawing it, and Duty just doesn't believe that it's possible that Santa could deliver all those gifts in one night, and so he wants to debunk the theory, but doesn't realize that Santa Claus rolls deep, and Santa Claus has multi-layered defense system. that duty has to
levels. There's levels to that.
There's level to this game. So it's exciting. It's fun. I'm having a blast drawing it. So I hope that you come along, and everyone who signs up and backs it on day one, physical backers will get this card right here. Boom. There you go. You're gonna get this card's already printed.
The Grinch is hilarious.
Ready to go. This trading card, and if you're a digital backer on day one, you're gonna get a duty crossword puzzle download. But so I'm excited for this one. I'm really looking forward to it. So and who doesn't want to start the Christmas season early in July?
No doubt. We missed a couple of chats in here. Lori says, what? Don't ask, Lori. Don't ask. Casey says, I've yet to go anywhere that requires a hotel stay. Wow, that's awesome, man. And but when is the Four Horsemen coming on and a draw off? Yeah, remember the draw off we did? That was the last thing
fun.
We did at your. That was at your house in Jersey. That was the last.
Yo, maybe the Four Horsemen. We should take a trip to San Diego next year, bro.
Let's go, bro. I thought we were trying to go overseas.
We were gonna go overseas. I think the guys wanted. We never got Johnny to commit.
John. Listen, I'm sure Johnny will be down. He just got to, Anibal got to get down, bro. Where you at?
Anibal said yes. He's already down. You said you're down. Right. I'm down. We just need the fourth guy.
There he is.
What would you say? We said England. What did we say?
Yeah, something in England. Let's go.
It's like this. There's like a huge giant convention in England.
I mean, she's here, but we'll go to your motherland and go check that out. I'd love to go out there and check out the shows out there,
dude. Yeah, the Americans are invading.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
He's like, what the country? It's like, hello.
Deported.
We can
back to America.
Get arrested on the first night.
Back to America. Get out of here. Definitely. So next month. Okay. So first of all, for those watching, if you have a local comic book shop,
local comic shop.
As soon as you go there tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, let them know you want the Adventures of Wonder Duck. And when they ask you, how do I get that thing? Tell them to either go to getyourmeds.com or go to filbookdistribution.com. I say getyourmeds.com because there will be a link there for them to sign up and then order the book. Like I said, the books are right now, it's on the website. They can order it. They'll have it there on the shelves October 15th.
That's dope.
Yeah, so check that out. Let's make it happen. Thank you so much, everyone.
You need to go to Midtown Comics and Jim Henley's Universe and Forbidden Planet.
Dude, so Jim Henley's, right? Jim Henley's. I went into Jim Henley's with Philip, and he wouldn't do it.
Jim Henley's wouldn't buy it.
He wouldn't do it because
did you tell him Sam said?
No. He's like Sam,
the crazy man.
He said consignment. He would do it on consignment. He would do it on consignment, dude. I'm
not a consignment guy.
He said he would, dude. He just wouldn't do it this way because a lot of stores don't feel like they can sell enough indies in the store. And the crazy thing about Jim Henley's, and I'm not talking crap, he absolutely has indies in his store. He does. He promotes indie comics, but he does them on consignment. He won't do it. He won't order it through like a distributor because to him it's like, dude, I don't. And it's the stigma, right? Is there going to be a second issue? Are you going to be able to deliver these books to me on time? Right. What if my fan base gets hooked by issue 2 or 3 and you have issue 4 isn't out for another 2-3 months, maybe next year? What's going to happen then? So I understand the trepidation. Listen, all you guys got to tell him is
he said trepidation, kids.
Holla,
wow, big words up on the craze.
Holla. You know how it is.
We're schooling people knowledge. Knowledge.
It's like that time I said acquiesce. Or you were reading acquiesce and you said acquiesce. That is.
I said my friend acquiesce.
Yo, hilarious. It's the best. George, look at the big brain on George.
I had a couple of sips. You throwing out these big words. I gotta look it up. What's my thesaurus?
Let's spell that.
Hold on. What was that? How do you spell it?
But yes. Yeah, check it out. And at the end of the month, I'll be at San Diego, bro. I'll send pictures. Big shout out to our guests that were on the show tonight. Yeah. Elliott and Alicia. Hopefully, and I will see them. I will see them there. We'll take a picture. We'll send it up. But fun show, man. Fun show. What you looking at?
Oh no, I'm pulling up because I will be at Retro Expo,
Yeah,
and that's next weekend, bro.
Listen now.
Retro Expo. Look at that. Look at that.
Yo,
look at that.
yo,
Come hither, look.
Yo,
Look at that.
this stuff cracks me the crap out, dude.
You like my eyes? The
Yo,
bedroom
what
eyes?
is that? What's going on in that picture?
It's
Why?
like
Hey, why did you bring it back up?
strangers in the
Take
night.
it down. Take it down right now. There is no reason for that. It's hilarious.
You prefer this one?
No.
Strike a pose.
What are we doing?
Strike a pose.
Oh, hilarious.
What's up, Alicia? What's up, Alicia?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I gotta work the camera, man. Gotta work any way to make a buck. Right?
So you think that this is gonna get you into these shows?
There's no shame in my game.
Looks like Sam's
the toilet. All right, Chihuahua.
Oh snap!
Yeah, so I'll be at Retro Expo. My first appearance there. Shout out to Aurelis. She's the one who put me onto this. She's like, "You need to do Retro Expo." So I'm doing it. Don't know what to expect. I just know that I did something similar to that in Bucks County, PA, whatever, for was it ZoloCon. So ZoloCon is similar to Retro Expo, right? Yeah, so it's toys and nostalgia and all that stuff, whatever. So I'm hoping to channel, because I did extremely well there. So I'm hoping to challenge that energy there.
You know, they moved ZoloCon to another location.
Oh, that place was perfect, bro.
That place was so perfect. It was one big circle. You had no choice.
It was it was a NASA training facility for astronauts.
Yeah.
That was legit, man.
But it was so well because it was a big loop. So
and they had the big jumbotrons with the old Godzilla movies and it was
the music that was playing for the theme songs. And
it just felt good. And we were at the Roach Motel and it was great, bro.
The Roach Motel.
We had blood on the walls and
that was great.
Dope.
That was great.
And you know,
we had to eat with the doors open because it was a smoking room. It was crazy.
Oh my God, we were dying. Yeah, we were dying. Then we were getting attacked by mosquitoes and gnats.
Good times.
There was blood on the wall. There was mosquitoes and gnats. There was smoke, but Johnny was loving the chicken.
He's like, "This chicken is good."
He's like, "Good
chicken, some good chicken."
Oh,
good times.
Yeah. So Retro Expo, but then I got 2 shows in August. I got Bell County Comic Con, my second appearance there, and Texas Latino Comic Con, my second appearance there. And I'm looking forward to those shows. And then July 29th, it's Christmas in July. We're launching Duty. Remember, there's the end of my toys, a 10-part series. So Duty's, this is a spinoff. And so this is Duty's one shot. It's a one-shot story. It's a standalone. And it's Duty back on Earth, going after Santa Claus. And it's fun. A lot of new characters. You want to see some of the characters, hit the link and go to the Kickstarter. You'll see all the characters. We got some Diesel characters and then we got an intelligence officer. We got Brock. You know, we got Ivan. There's a lot of great characters in the story. So It's pretty cool. Really good world building there, and so I'm excited about it. And any day now, the books should arrive from Comics Wellspring. These guys are the slowest I've ever seen in my life, and hopefully I can ship it before I move.
But at least they're right, bro. If you hadn't checked that freaking book,
check your proofs. Check your proofs because they make errors. I caught 5 errors with these guys.
Woo! Check those proofs.
And I was meticulous.
One last thing. So I know it's early, but in October I'm launching there's an alien in my, I'm launching that too. I'm launching the Shameless Plug. So if you haven't done so yet, go to my website or go to my my Instagram. There's a link there. Follow the campaign. I'm launching it on October 7th, right before the Comic-Con. So check it out. Ship me my duty. All right, Lord.
Yes.
Lord,
and in the fall, we're going to end the year with the Art of Duty book. And
that's
so that's
right.
coming out.
You have that coming out too.
That's coming out the end of the year as well. So it's a 200-page book, art book, the volume 1. So it's going to be done, and it's going to be featuring a lot of really guest artists. Lou Pons is in it. She did some fantastic work. End of Zed did a fantastic piece. A lot of great artists submitted some of their renditions of Duty, so it's going to be featured in the art book as well. So it's coming out the end of this year, and that will be distributed next year in bookstores.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's get it. All right, so we'll be back next week. Sam, give him the pitch of the show. Tell them how long we've been around.
It's been a long road. Anyway, so Cast the Craze podcast, founded in 2005. We are the first of its kind, the longest running independent comic book podcast in the game. We created the game to create a lane for the indie comic book creators when there was nobody out there. Everybody was focusing on Marvel Comic Geek Speak was one of them, focusing on the big guys. And so it's for indies by indies. We've been doing it since 2005. We're getting ready to, we're approaching episode 600 right around the corner. But we can't grow without you. So if you're listening to us on Spotify or any of these other platforms, please subscribe to the channels, leave some comments, head over to YouTube. Let the world know where you found us, because when we grow, the independent community grows, and we love to represent our fellow creators out there.
Word. Do you remember when in 2005? I
remember.
What time of year?
It was. It was. If I can get the exact date, because it was the week I came back from pod camp. So there was a pod camp. There's a podcasting. It was at the New Yorker Hotel in New York City. And at that time, it was the people that were doing podcasting were like people who doing cooking shows and that kind of stuff. And so I went there and then I left there and I went to Sam Ash, because I wrote down the stuff I needed. And I went to Sam Ash and said, I need a mixer. I need mics. I got to do podcasting. I needed to mix it with a USB because I need to hook it up to my computer, blah, blah. Then I got home and I said, yo, George, remember I called you? Yeah. We're doing a podcast. It's called Catch the Craze.
but what time of year was it?
I got to look it up. Podcast NYC. I have pictures from podcast. So I'll find it and I'll tell you, because it was a week after that.
Because listen, this is 20 years. Since, you know what I mean? This is the 20th year of the thing. And we're coming up on the, episode 600. Anyway, we have a lot of things to celebrate this year. So make sure, if you haven't done so, subscribe. Right, Sam?
Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Let everybody know where you are. And please RSVP. I'd love for you to be there for the launch on April 29th, right here on Cast the Craze podcast. With that said, I am Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. Say my name. Right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh,
my. He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Girl.